Yo, you are tuned in to another episode of the 3% Show. I am your host, Jay Davis. I'm in the house with EAZY Mother, EriRene. I call her, the fam caller, here with Erica. Basically doing a podcast because I believe in this young lady's story. I'm still learning so much about her. It's so much about a person that you never know what's behind their appearance or their thought process and when they're talking. And when you find out people are golden, I feel like I want to give them their flowers, even if they don't know they deserve flowers or that people are watching. I've truly been watching. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Erica's in the house.
Hello. Hello.
How you doing today?
I'm pretty good.
Okay.
Rested.
Okay.
Been sick with this freeze and being outside, but good.
The freeze being
It
outside?
was trying to take me out. It took me out last weekend for sure. But I'm bad.
What are 2 days of freeze? But I feel you. I'm from up north where that funny white stuff comes from the sky.
Y'all stay up north with
You
that.
are not of that?
No, y'all stay up north with that.
Okay. Sorrows and prayers and sorrows.
In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Allah. Ashe.
I shared.
So the reason why I wanted to have you back on the show, and I appreciate you coming in, talking about your farming initiative and more, but I'm learning so much more about you as a person. Again, I met you through the twins. Man, I miss their house.
That's my month. That we are 1 month twins since our birthdays are exactly 1 month
Really?
apart. Yeah.
Come on, triplets.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I love
feel
1
you.
month twins. Yeah.
That's crazy. And y'all always do it big on your birthdays. I'm going to make one of these trips one day.
I've been trying to make it on the trips, but I've been busy.
Absolutely.
I'll get a social life one day.
So, EAZY. Tell us about you. Are you initially from Houston?
No, my parents are both military, so I was born overseas in Japan.
Never knew it.
Yeah, never Navy.
Give us a little bit more about yourself as a person of, who you are.
I mean, I'm pretty much a happy homebody overall. Even though with the stuff that's been going on in the past year, I gotta be out for what I do. But I love good DoorDash. I love a good Amazon delivery. But I guess if I had to talk about myself, I actually don't like talking about myself. That's the first funny fact.
Well, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm here to lead you.
Yes,
Come on.
yes.
Come through.
But yeah, my mother is from the Golden Triangle. Father originally, he's from Detroit.
What's the Golden Triangle from my dad?
Oh, that's like Beaumont, Texas, Port Arthur.
I've never been out there. Never. Well, I've been to Beaumont twice, I think.
Yeah. Went to Ozan. Yeah. It's definitely a small town.
Okay. So you
Definitely
do
small
have Texas roots.
Yes, I do have Texas roots
Okay.
from my family, but our family is originally from Louisiana. We Creole Opelousas.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to go eat. Family, please. Invite a brother.
Saturate Thibodeaux's. That's our family.
Absolutely. So, mother from the Golden Triangle and then Detroit. So, I know he dressed sharp because they got them brims. No, I'm just playing.
Yes, he would.
What up,
dress
though?
sharp. He would dress
What up,
sharp.
though?
He would dress sharp, yes.
But you were born in Japan. How long did you live there, or did you immediately move? Because the life of a military family is
Yes.
different.
So we moved to the States when I was like 5. And then my mom, father, married in the military, divorced in the military. Then she remarried while in New Orleans to my stepdad, who at the end of the day is like my father. He raised me and my siblings. He's originally from Vietnam, so he came to the States when he was 9 years old.
Oh,
And-
wow.
Yeah, and then him and my mom, they met in like cosmetology school. I know.
Cosmetology
I know.
school.
He's a
Come
truck
on,
driver now. Yeah, and then he's a truck driver. He's been a truck driver over 20 years now. It's the whole thing.
Take your time, gather
But-
yourself, just
yeah,
in case
yeah.
you got a cough. You are good?
Yeah,
You
I'm
all
good. But he's raised us, and then we moved to Texas when I was like 6. Was it second grade? Second grade? Yeah, second grade. We moved to Texas.
That's cool. That's cool. Was
to
it?
Beaumont.
So, is there anything that you remember about living overseas?
So when I was real little, because like my father was a medic, he served in Desert Storm.
Wow.
I remember we were little
Appreciate the
and we
service.
saw it was Colin Powell, and he was like standing in the background on TV and stuff. And my mom was a nurse, but we would always be like with a nanny and stuff like that. And I just remember seeing a lot of Madonna on the TV. Don't ask me why.
Well, I
or
mean,
whatever.
when you're out of the country, is pop and fame. You know, that's what you see a lot of.
Yeah, and it's funny though. And then when we first came to the States, my grandparents were like, whenever you and your sister argued, we didn't know what y'all were saying because we were with the nanny a lot, so we knew Japanese. Tell me
Really?
now, I don't know. I don't remember anything. I was like, can we do some hypnosis? Because I would like to get a little
Get back into it.
Duolingo, maybe like bring it back from the archive edition because. I couldn't tell you. I know some stuff, but not much. But I still have good girlfriends that were born there too.
That's a beautiful thing. So, start out overseas, you're back into the States. What has life been for you as an intelligent, wonderful woman? For me, on the outside looking in, you're so carefree, you're so zen, and things of that nature. Kind of gives a background of who you are growing up, leading to your profession. What school did you go to, or was your mind set on you knew who you were versus who you are right now? Kind of what was that process of becoming who you are?
I would say growing up, it was very. I think we had a overall good childhood. Within our community, specifically, there are a lot of things you don't realize till you get older when it comes to like trauma and things of that sort. There was definitely a lot more obligation with like helping, especially with my youngest sibling when she got older. So it was always like family focused first. High school, I'll be honest, when I went and moved to Houston with my father. Then my mom made me come back home for college, and it's kind of culture shock when I had moved back when I went to Ozan because I was like used to a more diverse culture. And then the beautiful thing with my stepdad, since he's always like raised us, is I think the biggest part for me growing up was we didn't understand like the whole dynamic with like race.
Correct.
Like he worked very hard to protect us. So it wasn't until I got into high school that I started to see some things where, and I was like, dang, it's like black and white, Asian, like, things of that sort.
Correct.
But when I got into adulthood, it really started to hit me a lot harder or whatever. But
because sometimes life will take away the innocence
yes.
that's been given.
Yes,
And I
I'll
feel
tell
like
you,
through
when I
high
got to
school and
Ozan with them
college.
kids, them kids was, I felt like I was serving a 4-year prison sentence.
Really?
Yeah. I just like, and then when my mom came, she was like, do you want to go to private school? And I was like, I'm going to go to private school. But then they were like, oh, they have a gymnastics program. So I was like, okay, cool. I can keep doing gymnastics then if I do it. But like, I mean, Ozan was cool and everything like that. But it was just definitely different or whatever. And I didn't like that, sometimes get picked on, like caught an Oreo and stuff like that. But
Correct.
that's another story. But you go through that.
That's real life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Growing up in my 20s, I was the blackest white dude people knew until they got to know me.
Yeah.
It was like, this brother knows so much history, but it was just that I was open-minded. You make eye contact, you say hello to somebody.
Yeah.
That's where I was raised, So.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. And
No,
so
you're all right.
from there, whatever, I want to say like my stepdad is what made us carefree, and then we were super, super spoiled. I think it was like, but then after high school, kind of went out and then was like got engaged at a very young age. It was at Lamar.
So you went to Lamar University? Okay.
Yeah, and then and then after that, I ended up moving to Houston with my fiance at the time. It was just a whole short time.
It's just a lot, huh?
It was a lot. It was like I didn't, but I think I want to say I probably was kind of carefree, but I want to say like the first time I really felt like I got carefree was like 2010 when I went to New York, and it made you realize like how, like, what's the word I'm looking? How strangling living in the South could be when because it's conservative and stuff, and I'm in there and it's like Memorial Day weekend. Was that May? Yeah. And when I went there, I was like, it just like flipped a switch,
You
and I
found
was
your
like,
people.
I just
found your culture.
Not culture. I would say mindset.
That's what I'm saying. Culture.
Yeah,
You're free
yeah.
to be who you are. Boho.
Yeah, and I
you
was
can
just
be
like,
pro-black.
man,
You can be to
like
yourself.
people are not gonna pay your bills, and then from there, it just made me think deeper because even when we went to school, I was like, you need to be a nurse, and I was like, okay, and then I was this child psych class, and this one was talking about childbirth and and I said, okay,
So,
no.
so check this out. Peep
I
this.
said, I'm done.
So at that age, being covered, loving parents, no matter what the outcome was.
Yeah.
When you went to college, what was your major?
So when I first started, it was me getting ready to go in to do like nursing, but you had to do all like courses, and then I was like, well, I got to switch it up. Then I went in, and I was like, well, maybe I should do mathematics, and I was like, no, I don't want to be a teacher. Yes, I'm a current teacher today. Funny. And then
Right.
it was like, and then after that, it was accounting. And I was like, yeah, I like accounting. And that's how I ended up getting into accounting or whatever. And I joined a business fraternity. I didn't join any other sorority. Sorry.
That's okay. I mean, life's a beautiful struggle. We do what
But it was
fits
there.
us.
And then before I finished school, I had to train. I moved to Houston with my ex-fiance.
So, with that being said, and we talked about this because I truly feel like, what do you do when God blesses you with an abundance of talent, but the world is saying you have to choose one and just run with it for a lifetime until that race is over and you retire?
No one ever is shut up, do what you want to do. Because the one thing now where like I say, the largest portion is like my agriculture work, but I do have other businesses. Like I do my business consultant, like me going in corporate helped me develop those skills and hone those skills to be able to go in and do something for myself. I will say that's very important. And like I said, what having those gifts or say having those talents makes you say, what is it I want to do for myself? And starting out again, I don't have any loans or anything like that. I'm not in debt like that or whatever. And so it was like when I was in corporate America, and then I started like, okay, well I can bake. I had a baking business. Okay, great. That the baking business goes good. But the thing is, I can kind of choose where my focus is. Like if I want to focus on a doggy business, do I want to focus on a consulting business?
We're going
all
to
this
get
other
into
stuff.
all of those spills because
Yeah.
you spilled over because, again, like I said, the world will say, hey, you need to do this till you retire. And shout out to the younger generation because they're like, why do the most for less?
Yeah.
Where you can hit this spot and have
Yeah.
multiple incomes coming in. How is it being an accountant? Because I've always heard that accountants make great money. And keep in mind, people, in today's time, don't chase that dollar when you go to
No.
college. Because if you go for the college, but they tell you got to live in South Dakota, please don't be them people with a whole
No.
degree and not utilizing
It
it.
is so crazy when you think of public accounting in general. I say if you don't know what it is that you're going to do, I say especially for our community, get into accounting only because like even when I first started out in accounting, I was on the external side. And the rule of thumb is you go in, you go through school, and in the whole get your CPA, darling, go get your EA. Your enrolled agent license. You do not have to be a CPA at the end of the day because you get the same access that CPAs do, whatever. But you work for the IRS, which means when you do your CPA, you have to test for each state. In Texas and New York is gangsta. But what it was when because like I said, when I was at Lamar and then I was with my ex-fiance and then I basically transferred like to ACC and I was here in Houston. And I was in here and I had the opportunity that my first public accounting firm, I was there for 7 years. And you're sitting in there and I'm just like, first, let me make sure I even want to be an accountant. So I started out that firm as like an admin assistant plus going to school or whatever and taking care of my little sister. She's in U of H and stuff like she was at U of H at one point living with me while getting her through college. And it was just like, on the external side, doing the client work and things of that sort, it was like, okay, this is something I knew I wanted to do or whatever. And I was like, okay, I really, really like this. But then what ended up happening was that there were other opportunities where it was like, okay, so I'm on the client side, I'm doing taxes and stuff like that, doing bookkeeping. But then it was like, oh, well, and I'll be honest, my first firm, they were just super cheap. They didn't want to pay for stuff. So it was like, hey, we want you to learn how to do this programming and teach our professionals.
Correct.
Stuff like that. Or, and then at the same time, managing the admin on top of like, planning Christmas parties and also doing like
Stretching you completely out.
Doing the tax department, being a tax department manager without the title. So I thanked them for that though.
Correct.
Because it'd be cool, like going from the external facing side with clients that were crazy and nice, but then sitting in partner meetings and running those meetings with partners.
So you just adding to your bag.
Yes.
As far as add on their resume.
Yes. And then not even knowing like it's like being a tax department manager, operations manager, resource manager. And I didn't even know what resource management was until I got in there. And now mind you, like I said, when I left corporate in June, it was tough. It was a tough bag. That was 6 figures I walked away from. But what that first firm taught me is how I can elevate myself or whatever. And then I was like, well, I don't want to be an accountant. I want to be in the back end. You know, I want to manage, I want to help and stuff like that. I want to focus on the analytics and the reporting and stuff. I want to show the efficiency and utilization.
So, in coming with it, and there's nothing wrong, excuse me, it's nothing wrong for people getting into jobs and things for their own reasons. 6 figures, you actually enjoy it. Talk to me about how does it make you feel over the course of time to be in a position where you're able to provide for yourself, you're able to do this most, but does it ever is there any kind of wear and tear that people should be aware of as they're going through? Because I feel like sometimes people will go through the motion and continue to chase this goal, this and that, and not pay attention to the just mental health and self-care.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when it comes to, especially like when it comes to public accounting is one of the most stressful. And then right now they're trying to utilize, like India and the Philippines and all these other places now. And so that part was getting to where I was like, you know what? I'm kind of going to do my own thing. But I was like, no, I'm not going to do it yet because I'm making good money. And so what point I was trying to get to, what you have to take in consideration is what you're going in there for. And so for me, it was, I know I want to be on a firm level. And I got to the firm level and I was like, this ain't it. But at one point when I really started to, I was burning out and everything like that, I was like, I need to come up with a plan. And I say, even before you get to a burnout, I think any person going into corporate America needs to explore passions that they have while working for there. And you're going to use that W-2 to fund whatever you need for those businesses. Because that's one of the blessings that I had that I can say for myself is like, when I finally said I'm walking away, like, for good from it, that was one of the things I did not have to worry about trying to get business loans or anything like that.
Okay. So we're talking about that portion, but for you to walk away, what does burnout mean? What is it? What was burning out for you?
Burnout was...
How did you know?
How did I know? I'd be working 70, 80-hour work weeks, and then when I log off, I noticed sometimes I was ordering more wine than maybe I should have, whatever. Or like, my best friend would be like, what is it? Like, I never wanted to leave the house for the most part. Didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to leave the house. And so even if we're like, hey, we want to get in, like, I got microphones. I got my own painting with a twist. I mean, I got so much stuff. And I'm not a hoarder, but my home is where I want to make it comfortable.
Sanctuary.
I make it comfortable, and it's also business now, but I want it to be comfortable. I don't feel like I don't have to leave. And then one of my biggest things is, like, I love to cook and bake and stuff, so it's like, yeah, I don't have to do anything. But I knew I was, like, tapped out, and then, I always call it my top 5. Like, I have my top 5 people who has consistently been with. I, like, was missing friends, and then, like, I was just like, okay. Until one point where it's just, like, I just stopped wanting to get out of bed because I know if I didn't get out of bed or whatever, I got sick time. So I could do it while I was salary, so it didn't matter.
So how did the transformation of you saying, hey, this may be something that I want to get away from, how was that received by your friends, family, and loved ones? And what led you to your next passion? So
very funny because, in our community, they tell you, go to school, get a college degree, grow, get a house, move up in the company. So when it first happened, I didn't even tell my actual like parents. Like my sisters knew, like my closest like friends knew. Because at first I didn't even know what I was doing. I just knew that when I got into that second, I was like, I'm about to be here 3 months and I'm doing the same thing again. This is insane.
And your health is deteriorating without you even knowing it. The pressure, anxiety.
Well, right, because when I left the first one, it was like so super stressful. And then that person, she ended up getting fired because she was the issue.
You got to scoot up a little bit closer.
Sorry, that person ended up getting fired because she was the issue. And I thought was so funny, which was our old boss, which she was not she didn't know public accounting. But it was crazy because when I left that one, I was like, I'm not gonna go back in. But then I got hit with an offer, and I was like, this is even more money. And then when I was in there, within the first month, I was like, why are we doing pivot tables and Excels? Like, do you want me to just build this out for you in Power BI? Like, And then it was just like it wasn't clicking for her, so to speak, or whatever. And then like I'll never forget, she's like, oh yeah, my retirement stuff came in. I said she don't even care, and I'm here working 70, 80 hours. I haven't even been here 90 days. My first project was to build out onboarding or like a whole time entry project or whatever for any person. And we did it in Confluence, which means images and everything. Like you step by step, never used this software before or whatever. 40 something different templates built out. Never. I taught myself that in the first 45 days and had it done. And it was taking her like a month and a half, 2 months to go in and say, hey, girl, go review this and let me know. Because what they initially had were like 11 instruction guides, whatever, for it. And I was like, oh, some stuff is missing here. There's way more we have to do. And after I did that, I said, I can just go do this for myself for other businesses that want it. I'm only going to do consulting or contracting moving forward.
Exactly. And that's what I tell people. Sometimes you know when you're burnt out, but when you feel, not saying that people live paycheck to paycheck, but some people live goal to goal or some people live dollar sign to dollar sign, it's hard to realize that your heart, your anxiety, your health is on the decline. Your body's trying to let you know signals until you can't go no more. And that's kind of what happened to me and is currently happening in a lot of ways. It makes me think about passion. It makes me think about the things that I said I wouldn't do that are God blesses you with. So, EAZY.
What happened?
Rolling with the twins
Oh,
at the old house. When I tell you I met this young lady, I looked.
Was it crawfish?
It was crawfish. It was crawfish.
That's my first love language.
Man.
I don't need red bottoms. Just give me crawfish.
That's it.
6 pounds.
So now let's fast forward. EAZY Mother EriRene. Tell us where you are now. What you doing? What is you doing?
I can't believe that I feel like I am way further, especially it'll be a year in June, so like way further at least in like the past like 6, 7, 8 months now than was before. In Third Ward, I feel like Third Ward's gonna forever be my home. I really love it. Yes. I'm just like what little pockets I can do if that's gonna be there, chilling with, my businesses and my dogs and my chickens and stuff like that. And honestly, I just been like just creating my own blueprint for myself.
So you have an initiative though. You're currently into gardening.
Yes, I am into gardening. Yes. And then as I said, forever an auntie, unless, I don't know, forever an auntie, unless it's going to have to be something phenomenal to make me be delusional when I have children. But I'll adopt. But I am into gardening. That has been taking a huge turn, especially with the nonprofit. I'm heavier on my for-profit side or whatever, even working on eventually getting a summer program of some kind.
Now tell us about your nonprofit before we go too far.
Yes. So my nonprofit is based on agriculture, where I say we because I'm gonna get staff soon, where we focus on the underserved. So this first right now is youth, seniors, and eventually veterans, through agriculture, being able to grow food, education, and also plant therapy.
That's dope. And if you don't know, I actually did a podcast with this young lady. I'll probably put them back to back. I'm not even going to lie. But she has such an incredible spirit. She has such great community that she's met through agriculture. And I can't wait to get her mentor in here one day so we can pop his stuff. Absolutely. Few things that I didn't know until I actually saw how big the dogs were. You are a dog whisperer.
Oh, yes. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a business, so go ahead and tell us about that portion.
Yeah. No, it's been awesome. I get like a lot of only children syndrome, and then like right now I currently have this Dogo Argentino, beautiful white dog. He's about 100 pounds. I'm working on getting him rehomed and stuff. My best friend comes over for Bestie Fridays. She's like, I'm a little overwhelmed because I know you're just and then we just chill. But when it's just me, everybody's just playing, doing whatever they want to do, dropping down, taking naps. And of course, when people come over, they're just like, oh, it's another human. But I really enjoy it, and it allows me, especially when I get first-time owners, kind of help them navigate through that whole process. And also, if you just have dogs with like a lot of stress and stuff, sometimes you just need to learn how to work the dog, how to speak the dog's language.
So what got you into it? Did it just fall in your lap? Did you notice yourself caring for dogs in a different way? Did people tell you, hey, you do a great job? How did you know?
So I think because we always grew up with dogs, but I think what got me into it was when I was living in my apartment or whatever, I would take the twins. I have 2 twin Shiba Pomskis. And one of them got attacked twice by this huge German Shepherd. And I'm not a firm believer of calling the police or anything or whatever, but I told him, I was like, if I see you or your dog here again, I'm going to fight y'all. And then I'm going to call the police.
Absolutely.
Or whatever. Because, so it was just like, okay, I really don't like this or whatever. It's like going to the park and then,
Your kids.
yeah, they're my kids. And then seeing how they don't, like some of these parks, doggy parks, they don't take good care of. And luckily we hadn't, I don't do fleas, okay? But luckily it hadn't been an issue. But it's just like, just all of those things I think about and I'm like, I can't do it. And that's how it got me into it, so they could still have an opportunity to socialize.
Absolutely. And now, how many dogs do you take care of within sometimes coming and going? Because you're saying people starting to recognize it now.
Oh, I stay busy. Busy. Like I'm in here on a consulting calls or something like that, and I'll have like 8 dogs easily running around the house, just doing whatever, going in and out the house and everything like that.
That's super dope. And you're doing all of this in...
And my nonprofit and everything else. But everything is close to home, so it's like...
Absolutely. So that's one thing. So we're on the second thing. She does agricultural, which is super dope. She does the dogs. Tell us about these golden girls and how in the world do you go from accounting to getting pedicures and manicures
Never
and business
bugs
suits
before
to come in with the golden girls. And if you don't know who the golden girls are, I'll let you introduce them.
Yes, my golden girls, if you go on my social media handle, which is on TikTok and Instagram, hanging with EriRene, EriRene.
And I'll
like
post
EriRene
that in there.
Farms.
I'll post it in there.
They are my chickens. So I was just joking around. My neighbor, me and her, we were talking about, we want chickens, we want chickens, we want chickens, we want chickens. And then there was someone that was like, like I wanna learn how to build chicken coops. And I was like, I'm gonna build one in the backyard. Just tell me how much and I'll,
No, are y'all doing this over a glass of wine? Because this feel like this is a whole...
No, this was soup season. Soup season. I was making soup. Okay, I was making soup. I love good soup during soup season, during the cold winter. But I was like, just go get supplies, whatever, and tell me. I'll reimburse you, get the chickens, tell me how much. And so it ended up being one of the things where, like, built the coop, like the frame of the coop, and then it was a week.
Is that tedious? Like, did you YouTube it? What's that look like?
I took pictures of it. Now, the coop, he built the frame of the coop, and then he was like, all right, well, it was like it was the week of Christmas. It was like that Tuesday before Christmas.
Okay.
And then next thing I know, I'm over here like, he was like, okay, I'll be back in the weekend. Or I'll be back Saturday. We're going to build a ramp and stuff. I'm going to build a ramp. And it's like, I got some milk crates and too. I was like, sleeping. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And so that was Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I had my niece the week of Christmas, and I just hear, and I was like, what is that?
Then it was Smokey up for Friday in the chicken coop.
Literally. And I was like, my babies, they were like trying to jump to the bait, trying to jump on the top, on the milk crates, go to sleep. And I was like, we gonna have soft girl life. This is the Golden Girls. So Christmas Day, I'm in the backyard with my little $40 electric saw, building their ramp, building their roost bar, and then building their nesting boxes and stuff like that.
So you instantly felt a connection, nurturing.
Yeah, and I think that's how we kind of got cool or whatever. And of course, I was just like, I don't know what we're about to do, but we gonna figure this thing out. And it's been awesome. Super, super sweet. Loosely sweet, like they're not aggressive, but one does fly in my face almost every morning when I go in to go, check and give them their morning treat. Like I'll do dried worms, fresh blueberries, I'll cut up greens and stuff.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because number one, you're nurturing your own time, so they know what they're getting. And you always see these commercials about dogs eating healthy protein and this and that.
I do cook for my dogs.
So you legitimately went from hating bugs.
Yes,
to finding out about worms. And tell me that story about one worm, and you were like, nah, I need to order. You need this grand souffle worm.
Yeah. So we went in or whatever, and then one of the things I did was, it was like, good treats for them is, and FYI, when you see corn feed, that is popcorn for chicken. That is not food. Crumb layer is what you do for chickens. That's what they actually eat consistently. Okay. So I went in or whatever, and I was just like, okay, feeding them this. And then I was moving stuff around in my greenhouse, and I saw worms, and I threw them in there, and I just saw how excited they got. So then I went and I ordered some, like, soldier worms and stuff. They were like, we kind of don't like this. no, or no. So it's like now I'm in here chasing down like things that they like, and so now like they definitely like mealworms and things of that sort.
So you have to listen and
Yeah,
watch
they,
and
and they
take care
tell
of
you,
them.
and they're clingy. They like to socialize with you. They definitely do. Oh, and their names is Tofu, Miso, Bao, and Nordi.
So what are the names again?
Tofu, Miso, Bao, and Nordi.
And again, on her social media handle, you'll probably be getting introductions.
I
Possibly,
did.
she just recently got them blinged out. What kind of bling?
They
And how
have
was
some
that putting
charm
them on?
bracelets. Oh, trust me. When I was getting posted, it was like, this is. It's like it was a 45-minute process. So each of them got their own individual Golden Girls introduction. I did post those the same day, so they have like cute heart charms, daisy
She
charms.
hit me up with a text. I'm like, the Golden Girls got some charms.
Yes, because I was like, I need to know who's like coming at me in the morning with this aggressiveness. Like she's kind of trying to come straight out and like take the morning snacks or breakfast out of my hand. I was like,
Because
what
they
I do.
have different characteristics.
Yes, yes. And then when it first started, and I started giving them more treats. One would go like, there was this one that kept trying to bop another chicken in the head every time, and I was like, don't do that, like, tapping her on the head. And I was like, stop. And they listen or whatever. But I was like, okay, I need to know who I'm dealing with when I get this attitude.
Okay, so we went from being born overseas, coming back to the States, getting love, being reintroduced to your culture as far as where you're raised, and then moving into a different area where you're understanding that life and dealing with humans can be interesting.
Yes.
It sounds like you're a nurturing, loving person for family 1st. And you've recently discovered that it's not being selfish when you take care of self.
Correct.
It's truly a reason why
Correct.
they tell you to put your seatbelt on first so you can assist
Yes.
others.
Yes.
How are you now? I don't know how many people I said, but how are you now? Like,
Honestly, I am actually extremely happy where, there was like, oh, the old Erica, I'm like, no, I can't say the old Erica at the end of the day. For me, I think I'm like super happy, super blessed, even though waking up every day knowing like I am my only income essentially. So it's just trying to find other ways to do, of having like income, passive income, including or whatever, where I feel free.
and that's so important. And
Yeah.
the reason why I asked you that is because I feel like if I wanted a job, I can sell anything, I believe. But knowing that commission checks is what I have to rely on versus base, like I have right now bills. So when people tell me to do voiceovers or people say do the music thing, or I'm like, I have right now bills. But I would love to have the freedom to say, you know what? I know this is what I need. I know it's going to come, and I need to trust God
Yeah.
and be faithful.
Yeah. And then like every month, everything's coming through like clockwork and then some, and I see things growing and coming to fruit, and it's just starting small. That's why I say if anybody ever wants to really do it, like, oh, I'm just gonna go be my own entrepreneur, but you don't have anything really set in place. Slowly build something, because the way that reason why I say was like pick one lane. No, don't pick one lane, because what happens, say, within one element of one business, that's going to help supplement to allow me to give me more freedom or more compassion or grace, more grace to be able to like level up and scale and build up that other passion that I may have. So I definitely say don't pick one lane.
And I think it's important because, like I said, if you work hard for majority of your life, retirement don't have to start when you retire. You can actually, and if you utilize your money and time right, you can actually turn that into that passion progress. So let me see where else I want to go with EAZY, because you have to understand this young lady is hilarious. She's so intelligent, but she's so giving and loving. And the reason why I brought you on this show is because I wanted to give you a flag, even though you're looking like, but you are. I mean, you're one of the softest people I know.
Yeah.
And even though we be like, nah, skip, you like little sis to us. We be like, anything happen to
We
EAZY,
be
we
so
like.
man, it be so random, especially when me and Char, we just randomly popping up. I know Ray got to be sick of us some days. We don't care, because it's like whenever we're together, it's just like we have one plan, but then it just the whole day turns into something else, but we have like so much fun. And and we both work like she works a lot too and stuff. And so it's like when we get together, it's like, oh, just kids being free, having fun, or
Absolutely.
whatever. Yeah.
Now, I know you got M&Ms, but I'm gonna call you E and E. Tell us about what you're thinking about. I don't know if you can tell us, but what are you and Young Money thinking about doing as far as for the future, as far as for what you all would like to invest in or see grow and see what happens between you two? Because you are both intelligent, wonderful women who have different perspectives on life, but your drives are so. Shout out to Young Money, by the way.
Yes.
I ain't coming to that spin class. You saw me hyperventilate. But what would you like to see yourself doing in the future? What does the future look like for you?
So honestly, it's like what I'm doing now, but bigger. Expanding. Young Winnie had me laughing because she comes up to school now or whatever too, and so she was like, "You ever consider like showing people like people don't even realize like what you have. You're in the middle of the city and they don't even realize like what you're doing or whatever. As far as like you can live in the city, you don't have to like depend on everything from the grocery store. You can creatively or intentionally set something up for yourself where you don't have to be dependent. Because I think what's also worked for me. I mean, I even make my own oat milk.
Your own oat milk?
I make a lot of my own. I cook and make a lot of my own stuff, but it's also because I'm like slight control freak, or whatever. Because I like to know what's in my food. But she's just like, we should just, we should see. We'll just do some, record and see what happened, and just like a day in the life so people know. Because she's like, I don't know anything about chickens. I don't know anything about gardening. You got a greenhouse, like let's
the
just
coop and garden that grew from the seeding,
right.
in the concrete.
So like so that one is it's still brainstorming in the works or whatever. I know is gonna be interesting because I was like, okay, girl, this ain't gonna be like no 24-hour thing, right? Because like my brain can't focus, so I'm like, you just gotta follow me around, girl. Whatever you want, I'm gonna follow you. I was like, you be the producer for all I can. Just tell me, like where you want to meet or what you want to do, and I'll tell you what I have going on.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Shout out to Young Money again.
and she's a videographer and a photographer, amazing photographer.
Amazing.
So I was like, okay,
I would
girl.
love to have you on. Where's my? I would love to have you on the
She
show.
out of town, too. I
3
texted
years
this
later,
morning.
I'm still shouting you out.
She out of town too. I text her. She's like, I'm out of town. I said, then you about to go on your birthday trip.
Always
okay.
on the go. Always on the go. For the
Always on
I'll
the
tell you, these birthdays, I'm gonna get big like you all.
Yeah.
If I can make a question, knowing what you know now, who you've become, and it's a random but question that everybody asks. What would you tell younger E if you can give yourself advice?
If I could give my younger self advice, first
Take
off,
your time, breathe. It's
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, hold on.
Just take your time. Just
Agriculture, y'all did the freeze took me out. Okay. Younger self, first off, don't say yes to him when he asks you to marry him. Do not get engaged with him. That's a waste of 5 years of your life. Anyway, that was a high reality show with no camera. But
I didn't know that was coming.
It's the first thing, girl. Run, girl, run. But
Okay.
the second thing would be is to be comfortable with the uncomfortable and understand that like they're going to tell you to do this, but nobody tells you like, hey, if you want to work for yourself and be an entrepreneur, they don't give you the playbook for that. They don't do anything. But be comfortable with the uncomfortable and be open to change and you'll be fine. So I would tell my young self to be comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Totally understand. So, with that being said, because we've been talking for a while, and I appreciate you, and I do want you to come back. I do want you to bring your crew, because I need to talk about Pilates. I'm trying to stretch. I'm trying to get limber.
Look,
I'm trying to, when I
be
tell you
turning
these
up on
young ladies go
Fridays.
hard on
We
the
be-
Pilates.
We be turning up on Friday. She be struggling in Pilates on Saturday morning. I said, girl, no, I'm sleeping.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So is there anybody that you would like to shout out? Well, before we get there, so this is a different thing.
Okay.
So, experience in life in your lifetime, for beginning to end.
Okay.
What do you feel that your 3% has been, not only for agriculture, but just you as a person? Because I believe that we sometimes go through life holding our breath above water, trying to get things done and meet certain criteria. You're so open and honest, but what do you think your 3% is as far as where you at, this life giving you?
What I didn't do versus now is one, making sure I put my life, put my oxygen mask on first. That's the main thing, which is me trying to be more selfish. You could still be caring and giving. Boundaries, and stop trying to be super save them all. So that's like the main 3 focuses.
Okay.
Yeah. The 3% of me.
Is there anybody that you would like to shout out at anything or people that mean something to you?
I mean, if anything, I have to shout out my best friend. She's probably why I probably haven't jumped off a cliff. You know, she's been my.
How long have you known her?
Oh my God, I feel like we've known each other forever. It's been like 2022. We was in here just talking about our friend's anniversary. It's in January, and we've been so busy. Life was life in January. We were just busy. It's been like 2022, but I feel like I've known her my whole life. I think she's the first person where one day she told me, she was like, "Girl, you don't have any emotions, girl." Girl, like, you know.
Now, who's this? Which one?
Sure.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm shouting her out. I'm shouting her out.
That's right. Yeah,
so, do you
my best
consider
friend.
her one of your day 2s? Because remember, your day 1s are people that grew up with you. They'll
That is my sister for life.
day 2s.
We go back like 4 flats.
Absolutely.
4 flats. We be trying to catch them happy hours at the restaurants. That's our highlight. But definitely my best friend for being there. And then even with Ray, Ray, and with me meeting Ray, I want to give him a shout out because meeting him has allowed me to see what good men look like. Because when I see him,
come on now.
Well, because when I see him and I see like you, it's him and his friends. Like being able to go through, like to show you that there are good black men essentially in the world.
Appreciate
and
it.
then like, you know, where my stepdad was present, but again, there's only so much he could do because one, he's Asian, I'm black. But Ray would come in, and even in my dating life too, he was always that big brother, and you know, and he'll like get me together. So he's seen all my good days, bad decisions, and everything else like that. So definitely a huge shout out for Ray. That's my guy best friend, girl best friend. And then of course, you know, as far as in the garden community, I can go down all day with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Again, I brought you on here because I wanted you to get your flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, I wanted to bring a light on you because I know you won't bring the light on yourself.
No.
I think you're a very deserving person. What you do for your family, the way you consider them, the way you're willing to take on the load that's not necessarily for you, but you do it anyway. And I just appreciate, you know, the upbringing that you've had from the parents, no matter what it looks like, the good, bad, or indifference, because it helped create a beautiful person. So I wanted to make sure that I got you on here. We missed last week because we had that freeze for a day and a half. Hopefully my water bill ain't up too high because I did let it trinkle, and I'm mad about that because I'm like, everybody hates Chris Daddy. I'll be proud of my $45 water bill.
Okay.
But seriously, I just want to get you your flowers. You're the first interview I have this year. This year is going to be a turning point for me, just basically being civilized, right? I'm going to talk about everything, and I'm honored that you allowed me to bring you on the show.
Oh, I'm honored that you invited me, so thank you.
All right, now tell me what your handles are again, and I'm going to post them in the comments too.
Yeah, so my main 2 handles is my TikTok and Instagram. Well, Instagram first, still getting the TikTok thing down, but it's hanging with EriRene. And also, if you have any questions as far as what I do, you can always go to the ercollective.com, which will have a collection of everything I do with my fur hub coming soon. That's another thing I'm building out.
The Fur Hub. And also, please know that if you do see the information as far as agriculture and more, she legitimately is putting money of herself. So if you want to contribute,
you can donate,
if you want to do anything, donate.
Tax deduction 501c3, and you will know where your money goes.
Absolutely. So no matter if you're seeing this near or far, or she shares it with you, go ahead and invest in your people that's doing great things for others, because I think in today's time, we're lacking of paying things forward. And again, this podcast isn't necessary for me to like, subscribe, and share. If you will, that's fine. But more than anything, I think our next beautiful people are leaders in the community that just didn't have a voice. So I wanted her to be able to speak herself.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't do this otherwise.
All right. Well, we out of here.